Hello, welcome to Mancave Messages. I am Austin Chambers, my collaborator, one of the actresses on the channel, Tila. We're here today to talk about some of our favorite comic book characters. I'm sure people who watch the channel have noticed the Man Cave is riddled with superhero and comic memorabilia, and we're all comic book nerds. So why don't we start out talking about Shazam? Shazam, you have to call it Shazam. Can't call it Captain Marvel.
Marvel copyright.
Captain Marvel, Shazam, Billy Batson. He's been around forever. He's one of the most powerful superheroes in the DC Comics.
Yeah.
When he's basically a 14-year-old kid normally, and then he says Shazam, lightning comes down and turns into a grown,
Full-grown adult superhero.
yeah, who can take on Superman.
He has a ton of godlike powers. That's what it is.
Yeah. If you want to read, some good Captain Marvel stories, the only one that, I've said before, the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that shows, why I think he's a cool character is Kingdom Come. He becomes pretty much brainwashed, and he's trying to stop Superman from preventing a nuclear explosion. And he basically beats the crap out of Superman. He says Shazam, and the lightning comes down. He puts Superman in front of it. Superman's like bleeding out of his ears and everything. I think BA.
Watching Superman get his butt whooped is pretty fun in any comic.
It's always good. It's always good. Cool character, awesome. He's been around since the 30s. Yeah. Enough said.
Enough said.
Why don't we talk about Red Hood?
Red Hood, Robin, number two.
Jason Todd. Jason Todd was first introduced to Batman because Batman caught him stealing the wheels off the Batmobile. Now, if that don't take some melons, I don't know what does. He's probably the most controversial hero on our little list because back in the 80s, he wasn't quite as popular as DC wanted him to be. Well, he wasn't Dick Grayson, so fans were having a hard time accepting him. He was cocky, a little, smart mouth. So they put this ad in, one of their monthlies, and it was 2 900 numbers. You called one, and he just lived. You called another, and he died. Well, the votes came in, and he died. Turned out later that most of the votes for him to die came from a guy with a Mac computer in Florida. But they brought him back. I won't go into how they brought him back originally because it's convoluted and crazy. But he came back as the Red Hood. By the way, the Red Hood was the original identity of the Joker, who killed him. So it all comes full circle. He tried basically to replace Batman and Gotham as the vigilante, but he did it by killing mob bosses and criminals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, he's the best fighter out of all the Robins that have ever been. He's willing to go that extra mile.
He's willing to push Batman a little farther over the edge.
In one case, he found the lieutenants of 7 of the mob bosses in town, cut off the lieutenant's heads, put them in a duffel bag, and presented it to the mob bosses as a way to say, "You're going to do what I say, or else." Pretty BA. Yeah. Enough said.
Enough said.
Incredible Hulk. The raging green behemoth, the green Goliath. Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. He's an icon. Who you could not read comics and still know who.
Hulk smash.
Yeah. Hulk smash. What I always thought was interesting about the Hulk was there's been so many versions of him. He's been a mindless beast. He's been a hero. He's been in Hulk form, a genius. And and they've gotten into some really in-depth psychological, areas in his comics.
Yeah.
Because in his normal form, he's just this mild-mannered genius.
Super genius.
Who, it was just an accident that created him. He was saving the life of Rick Jones. And by the way, Rick Jones will come up on a sidekicks list later on. But I mean, and then he gets mad and he's the Hulk.
Yep.
And that's not always the case, but I mean, that's the general gist. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, early 90s, you watched the Incredible Hulk TV show. He's iconic.
Yep.
I just wish they would do a good movie version of it. They have not yet. I mean, the one in the Avengers is good.
Yeah.
But that's not a solo film. That's,
that's the Avengers, yeah. That's all of them. You can't really just...
Yeah.
You can't say it's a good Hulk one if it's an all-team one.
Edward Norton, so far, has come the closest, I think, to playing a good Hulk. But, I mean, we're not going to even talk about Eric Bana's Hulk. I'm sorry, Eric Bana. You are just amazing in Munich, but you don't play a good Hulk. Sorry. Basically, the Hulk is the strongest there is.
Yeah.
I mean, he has grabbed tectonic plates and put them back together. That's how strong he is.
He's so strong, he can run as fast as he can, but the ground breaks beneath him when he hits a certain speed, so he has to jump. He's a super strong character.
Strongest there is.
Yeah.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
We'll move on to enough said.
Enough said.
Okay. Wolverine. Now, Wolverine is the reason I started reading comics. I ran across a comic. It was in a gas station. We were going on a family trip, and it was just something about, he was coming out of the screen. It was a Wolverine comic, and he was coming off the cover, and I was like, oh! And I read it, and I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I've been hooked since then. I got my hands on every comic I could find, good, bad. I've read a lot of bad. But Wolverine has always been consistently good. I mean, I don't care who wrote him, with X-Men, with the Avengers, Solo, it didn't matter. He's always been Wolverine.
Yep.
And fortunately, they've done a good job of portraying him on the screen.
Yes.
He's a lot shorter in the comics, but besides that, just awesome. And Logan, if Logan doesn't win an Oscar for something, I'm going to be upset. Because that was an intense, in-depth, well thought out movie, and it's sad to see Hugh Jackman give up the role. Part of me doesn't want anyone else to ever play him.
I don't either.
But part of me is like, I don't want the character to not be in any more movies. I don't want to wait 20 years before I see another Wolverine, like we had to with Superman. Or even Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take before George Clooney ruined the franchise for them to get Christian Bale? Sorry, George Clooney.
You did the Batman that you were supposed to do. It was supposed to be funny, and it was funny. That is what I have to say about that Batman.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Not funny in a ha-ha. Funny in a, oh, God.
Oh, God. Funny.
I mean, I hope Marvel Comics brings Wolverine back. He's still dead in the comics. His body's encased in adamantium right now, and he's suffocated to death. Yeah. But it's comics, where the only person who stays dead is
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. They even brought back Bucky. If they can bring back Bucky, they can bring back Wolverine. They can find some way to do it. And after the death of Superman, they're bringing him back. You can bring back anyone, and the fans will still love it because it's their characters.
Yep.
Enough said?
Enough said.
Finally, we're going to come to my favorite.
My favorite too.
Best superhero. And I mean, it's almost unfair to even call this character a superhero.
He's not.
Because he doesn't
not classified as a superhero.
He doesn't have superpowers. He's called a superhero, but he has no powers except being rich.
Well, and he's really smart.
He's really smart, but I mean,
he's super rich.
Yeah. Batman is the man. I mean, I love Batman. You know, and I've been a fan of Batman since I was a little kid. I remember when the first movie came out with Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my,
That, hands
My
down,
poop.
my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where I disagree with most people. When it comes to the movie incarnation, the movie representation of Batman, I'm still sticking with what I've said since it came out, Ben Affleck. And everyone's big complaint about Ben Affleck's Batman is that he's old and grizzled and it's Ben Affleck. Because he ruined Daredevil, but
okay, but
he's playing a Batman, he's been doing it for 20 years. He's playing the Dark Knight Returns Batman.
yes,
And he's
the
doing
older Batman.
He is doing an awesome job of it. He's funny when he's supposed to be funny. He's intense when he's supposed to be intense. And that fight scene where he whoops the crap out of Superman in Batman vs. Superman, I loved it. Loved it. And then when he goes and saves Superman's mom and just murks all those guys in that warehouse.
Yep.
I mean, he did a good job.
Yep.
But Batman is Batman. He can take out any superhero. He has contingency plans to take out any of them if they go rogue.
Yep.
He has fought Superman numerous times, and when it comes down to it, he's won more times than he's lost against Superman. Dark Knight Returns, perfect example.
Yep.
And everyone says, well, if he didn't have kryptonite, it's not just kryptonite.
It's not just kryptonite.
He's used sonic waves before. He has manufactured viruses in the comics out right now.
Yeah.
He manufactured a virus that turned him into a doomsday and then just murked Superman.
Yep.
Another one of the comics out right now, he synthesized black kryptonite and made Superman murder his own family.
Just because he could.
I mean, and even says in that Superman, it's the Batman Who Laughs. It's out right now. It's a part of the Dark Knights, the metal line. He gets infected with the virus himself. It makes him go crazy. He takes out the entire Justice League, and when he's taking out Superman, he says so himself, my biggest regret is I can only kill you once. I know so many ways to take you out. And then just throws black kryptonite at him and watches as he murks his family. Cold as ice, but so awesome.
Best. Just be best.
And so many people, everyone has their own opinions, and these are our opinions.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's ones that we had to leave off, Punisher, Daredevil, Aquaman, Flash, I mean, there's tons. Nightcrawler.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Raven.
But we had to stick with the ones that, if we were presented with a movie or comic to read or watch, we would pick those characters.
Yep.
So, tell us what you think. Comment your ideas, your favorite. Like, share, and subscribe. If you like us doing videos like this, let us know. We'll do more. If you don't, or you want have some suggestions on how we can make this type of video or the channel in general better,
please
down in the comment section, there's a like button right there, and subscribe.